I see thumbs up all over the place. Very good. Thank you. In the Declaration of Principles as to what we are, Centers for Spiritual Living, this is what Dr. Holmes, who is the founder of Religious Science and the Science of Mind, author of The Science of Mind, and I quote, "We believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but it's not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God." End of quote. So that's science of mind, that's spirituality in one caption. So I welcome you to this time and to this space and to this place, wherever you are. You are here by divine appointment. You're not here because an accident took place. You are here by divine appointment. By whatever reason you think you got here, you are keeping a divine appointment. The study of life is the science of mind, and the nature of the laws of thought, the conception that we live in a spiritual universe, that God is in us, around us, and for us, and there is nothing against us. It is also a correlation of the laws of science, the opinions of philosophy, and the revelation of religion applied to human need and the aspirations of humankind. Our topic today, then, is the infinite, finite field of mind. Interesting, the infinite, finite field of mind. Here's how Dr. Holmes puts it. He says, quote, "We think of the ether of mind as a universal subjectivity, the soul of the universe, just as the ether of space is a medium for physical action. So this universal subjectivity is the medium for mental action. Anything that has ever been thought at any time in the history of mankind exists today in a subjective state in the universal mind. When we get into the field of mind, there is no past, present, or future. They merge into one medium." End of quote. That's a profound statement to think about that. Every single thought that has ever been expressed or even thought of, a thought being thought of, in the world still exist in a medium, in a subjective state. That is why you can actually think of a thought that was already exercised. Since in consciousness there's always a unity, when we speak of subjective mind, and conscious mind, we're not talking about two minds. We're merely talking about the action and function of the one mind. So when we say subjective mind and we say conscious mind, we're talking about the same mind in two different functions. Dr. Holmes talks about a dual unity. That's what he's talking about the same way. Law and order, spontaneous choice, volition, conscious action, and automatic reaction. All of that belongs to the two phases, the two functions of the one mind. There's the consciousness of one mind, the unconscious state of the same mind. Belief is buried in the subconscious mind, or sometimes referred to in science of mind, referred to as subjective mind. So when you believe something, it means that it has entered into your subjective mind, which means it can automatically express itself, especially in emergencies. Like if somebody came up to you and just slapped you in the face, what would you do? The first thing you want to do is to slap them back or pull away in fear. That reaction comes out of your subconscious mind. It's a learned way of responding to certain activity. So a dual unity, law meaning action that is non-choice, action out of strictly obedience. Order meaning spontaneous, the order, spontaneous volition, conscious action. That's all in the conscious mind. The automatic action is in the subconscious mind. So the conscious mind is the area of spontaneous choice. So when you think of something consciously, that's spontaneous choice. That means that you get to choose that. You get to refuse to choose that. You get to say yes or no. That's in your conscious mind. How many things have you said no to without realizing that you were either denying yourself of something or saving yourself from something that could hurt? See, when we are conscious of our consciousness, then that's the most efficient way to live, to be conscious of your consciousness, to be aware that everything happens by right of consciousness. So if something's happening to you, don't blame someone else. It's by right of consciousness. Your consciousness has either allowed it or brought it into being. So sometimes we allow things without recognizing that we are allowing something. That means that we've given up the conscious action, which is a conscious action of choosing not to. But when we allow ourselves to be subject to something else, that means that we have made the choice to do nothing about it, but allow it to happen. So the conscious mind is the area of spontaneous choice. It's a state of mind of volition. The subconscious is the area of automatic action. Spirit knows no past and is not affected by the belief in any past. I think that's a wonderful thing to realize, that spirit knows no past and is not affected by the belief in any past. That means that at any moment, your conscious mind can bring you into right action. At any moment, your consciousness can bring you into a state of what we call salvation or what we call resolution, because spirit knows no past and is not affected by the belief in any past. The past is swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present. This is on page 246. Spirit knows no past and is not affected by the belief in any past. The past is swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present, which is filled with love and protection. You want to know how to feel love and feel protected? Live in the present moment. The past is swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present. So how do I live in the perfect present? By recognizing there is a perfect present right now taking place in my life. Whether or not you like it, if you view that as the perfect present, the only thing that could come out of that could be beneficial to you. The reason that sometimes what seems to be present leaves you in a non-beneficial state is when you fail to recognize that in the present moment, perfection is unfolding, even when it's uncomfortable. But when we don't recognize that, then the unfoldment hurts more. So we need to recognize that, we are made out of spirit. God made us in his image and likeness. That means that we have the seed of perfection that God is. I'm not saying was. I said, you have the seed of perfection that God is presently in this tiny, miniature second. All of it is present at any and every moment within itself. What we're talking about here is how are you using your mind in the most efficient way? Can you learn how to do this? Yes, we have courses, we have meditations, we have guided meditations. We have several ways in which to help people step out of the consciousness of victimhood into the consciousness of being in charge. All of it is present at any and every point within itself. It is not approaching a point nor receding from it, but it is always at the point. The whole of God is present at any and every point within God. Now, if you're trying to remember all of this, make sure that you remember that you can go back to this recording at any time. Or you can order a CD and have it shipped to you. All of this is present at any and every point within itself. It is not approaching a point nor receding from it, but is always at the point. The whole of God is present at any and every moment, every point within God. Page 330. You see how powerful this philosophy is? It is incredible. God is not more or less in any one location, but is wholly present everywhere simultaneously. Think about that for a moment. God is not more or less in any one location, but is wholly present everywhere simultaneously. There is no place where God is not. Simultaneously in its total wholeness. Oh my God, you think about that. I mean, that blows your mind. That means that wherever we think of God, God is fully, completely, and wholly present. So if you think you're suffering and you think of God and you say, oh my God, where are you? That's a mistake. You say, oh my God, I'm glad you're here. You see, there's no place where God is not. I remember I was doing some work in the yard. I was still in Trinidad at the time, and I was cutting something, and the knife slipped and cut my thumb. And I looked at my thumb and I thought, well, oh my God, it's going to cut, it's going to fall right off. But I held it and I said, God is present right here, right here. God is present right here. God is present right here, right now. God is present in my thumb. And you know something? It healed in 1 week, completely closed up and completely healed. And if you want to see a mark where that cut was, I'll give you a couple of dollars. If you could find where the mark is. It was an amazing, miraculous healing that I experienced in a moment like that. So the universe immediately springs into healing action, wholeness action, wellness action. The moment you call upon it, the universe immediately springs into healing action, wholeness action, and wellness action. Universal subjectivity is the medium for mental action. That means the activity of mind. You know, here's good news though. Good news. That is good news to just know that. When we think of God, we are healed. If you have a problem going on in your life, think of God being present right where the healing is needed. If it's just in the palm of your hand, think of God sitting in the palm of your hand. Although you know God is universal and is everywhere present, you could still think of God sitting in the palm of your hand. If your throat is sore and you want it healed, think of God there. I'll tell you something. I healed my shoulder this morning. I suffered for a week, maybe 2 weeks, from shoulder pain, arm pain, and this morning I went into it and I remembered to know that God is present in my shoulder, right where the pain is. You know something? Pain's gone. I healed myself this morning. But Anyone can do that. This is not just given to a particular group of people, a priest or a minister or anybody else. Everyone has equal access. Everyone has the same amount of power to use. Whether they use it or not, that's their own choice. But we all have the same power to use. You need to take charge of you. We become swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present, which is filled with love and protection. Can you accept that? That you are swallowed up in the victory of a perfect present, which is filled with love and protection. Can you accept that for yourself? Go like this. You know, try to move your head a little bit. Nod. Welcome it. Good. All right. Now, anything that has ever been thought at any time in the history of man exists today in a subjective state in universal mind. So I'm going to give you about 7 or 8 becauses. Because we are in God, we are whole. Because we are in God, we are healed. Because we are in God, we are loved. Because we are in God, we are at peace. Because we are in God, we are prospered. Because we are in God, we are cared for. Because we are in God, we are perfect. Because we are in God, we are powerful. Because we are in God, we are alive. Because we are in God, we are wise. Here's the last one coming up. Because we are in God, we are compassionate. Do you know why? When we remember these truths, we shall be happy. I hope you can remember those truths. Would you like me to read again those 8 becauses? 1 head, 2 heads, 1 thumb up. Oh, the hands are going up. Good. I will do it again. Because we are in God, we are whole. Because we are in God, we are healed. Because we are in God, we are loved. Because we are in God, we are at peace. Because we are in God, we are prospered. Because we are in God, we are cared for. Because we are in God, we are perfect. Because we are in God, we are powerful. Because we are in God, we are alive. Because we are in God, we are wise. Because we are in God, we are compassionate. Do you know why? When we remember these, when we think of these and hold that thought, we shall be happy. You want to be happy? Remember those, and you will be happy, because your happiness does not depend on any other person or any external conditions. It is an inner realization of these 8 becauses, because you are made in the image and likeness of God. Namaste. Amen. Take time to muse. Take time to reflect. Take time to be silent. Did you hear that? Take time to be in awe. Did you see that? Take time to contemplate. Did you hear that? Take time to meditate. Did you feel that? Take time to be alone. Can you sense that? Take time to be quiet. How sweet it is. Take time to hear the silence. And take time to know yourself. These are my 10 take times, and I hope you take them with you today and make life a place that you want to stay, living in it, not just alive in it, but living in it. And so it is. Namaste. So now spiritual mind treatment is a scientific prayer that allows you to feel and sense the wholeness that you have declared. Now, in a spiritual mind treatment that we do for a group, each person gets to name in their heart and mind the shift to the better that they want to experience. Any questions about that? No. Okay. What shift for the better do you want to have in your life? Close your eyes and let it be. So now, let my words be your words. As I speak in the first person, you speak in the first person using the same language for yourself. Let us begin. I know there is only one life, and that life is God. That life is perfection. It is perfect. That life is whole. It is total wholeness. And that life is my life right now. I am one of that life. I am made just like it in its image and likeness. And that expression of that life now takes place as I open to the joy and peace of wholeness. As I open my heart and mind to the beauty of life. The beauty of life I see in all people and all places in this universe. That I know that I am guided and directed to make choices that are life enhancing for myself and for all those around me. Because when I am at my best, I am a blessing to all those around me. So I declare that starting right this second, I am at my best. The best that I can be continues to be open to me. Day after day, I become more of my best. And it's that declaration that allows me in this moment to feel the joy of being. I am so thankful for these wonderful words that we have shared together. I'm thankful for the power of the spoken word. I'm thankful that the word becomes flesh and dwells with us. And we are learning to speak the kinds of words that express the kinds of life that bring us joy, peace, happiness, and wholeness. I'm thankful for all of that and so much more. I release these words to a power greater than I am. That power is able to do infinite variety of beingness. So these words now I turn over to the doer, knowing that it is already complete in the mind of God, and all is well. Let's say together, and so it is. Amen.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Awesome. Yes.
And don't forget to take time and write the check.
Yes.
Put that in the mail.
Yes.
So you can open up the flow of prosperity into your life by giving.
That's right.
Thank you.
And that's a good thing. Listen to Gary saying that, because when you write the check, you're writing the check to yourself, actually. But in actual doing, you're making it out to the Connecticut Center for Spiritual Living, But remember, the law of circulation takes place the moment your heart says, yes, I want to give this to CTCSL. The channel of the seeker seeking, again, the law of returns, the law of compensation, all of those laws gets activated, and you are blessed because you gave. Okay.
Sue's going to play the peace song for us, and we'll.
Before we do that, I would like us to say the affirmation one more time, and then Susan can send us off with a song. Let's say the affirmation again, please. And so that you can get a new sense of what you're saying in the affirmation. Let us begin. Today
I am conscious of the power of
oneness and inclusivity. The one God, the one life, and the one spirit, which life is the life of all life. Today I know and am constantly aware of the divine principle of inclusivity, which allows me to joyfully experience the beauty of universal oneness with all humanity. I live and move and have my being as a conscious participant, hand in hand with all human beings, to joyfully share uniqueness in its limitless divine variety. All people share and have their being in the one God, the one Spirit, the one life, and so it is. Amen.